Good morning. It's Remembrance Day today. We are honoring our patrons who give away their life for our country. Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Well, it's a great day. My name is Vishal Kapoor. I'm a realtor work for Century 21 in Oakville, Ontario, Canada, and I provide tips every day for home buyers and home sellers. And today we're going to just wait a little bit more for people coming over, and we'll start from there. Please feel free to share this broadcast with other people you think they're thinking of buying a home or selling a home. These are great tips. Even if you're not thinking of buying or selling, it's good to have those kind of tips handy. And let me know how I am doing over here. Share with me your thoughts. Share this broadcast with other people, and if you can provide some hearts if you like my broadcast, I will appreciate that as well. And you can also go on my website. It's called wishforyourhome.ca, and at the end of the day I also put these broadcasts in written format as well, so you can read that in form of blogs. So let's start, and welcome again. And today's topic is how to avoid 5 of the most expensive mistakes home buyers make. Mistake number 1: not knowing how much they can afford before they make an offer. I talked yesterday about that too, and I talked about that every single day. That easiest way to avoid this mistake is to get pre-approved for a mortgage by a lender, so you know in advance exactly how much you can afford. Most pre-approvals are free, and it will give you a basis to make a more informed purchasing decision when you find the house you like. Mistake number 2. Thank you. Mistake number 2: not realizing that the wrong mortgage can cost thousands of dollars in needless interest and taxes. Check with your accountant before you make your final decision on which mortgage you're going to choose. Your CPA can tell you what the long-term effects will be on your income, your taxes, and the equity you build in your home over time. Most people aren't aware that with the standard 30-year mortgage, they will be paying 2.5 times the amount of the mortgage in payments. With some advanced planning and a simple strategy, they can cut the amount of interest they pay dramatically and own their home sooner. So having the right mortgage is a very important piece. Shop around, look into 2 or 3 lenders and compare them, what they're offering, what they're not offering. Read those fine prints. Sometimes you will find that in the fine prints are there. Either you're going to, if you're changing for some reason, you're paying too much penalty, or you can paying the too much interest, or even when you're porting. I came to know about when you're porting the mortgage, sometimes you're paying more as well, depending upon the interest rate is going on that way. So shop around. Mistake number 3: people do not realizing in advance whom the real estate consultant represents. Well, going to different lenders until they check your credit every time, it's not going to affect you. If you're going to the lender, don't get your credit checked right away. I will recommend what you can do is you can do your own credit check, which you entitled for one credit check in Canada. You're entitled for one credit check for free, and you can take that credit check with you when you're going to lender, so they can look into the points, so they don't have to run another credit check for you. Because every time you do the credit check, definitely it affects your credit score. So that's what I recommend. Then you know what's in there, and you can show them. So thank you for asking that question. I hope it was helpful. Mistake number 3 people do, not realizing in advance whom the real estate consultant represents. Most people think that the agent they are working with is working for them. Well, but unless they are working as your buyer representative, so if you have signed up the buyer representation agreement with them, they represent the seller. They treat you as a customer, not as a client. There are different type of agency relationships you can have with the realtor. So make sure you clear on your options. Listen to what I have to say on that. Read it carefully. And if you don't know what that means, ask again. Shop for your realtor as well. Talk to one or two or three realtor and see who can provide you the best service and who can clarify your questions as well. Mistake number 4, not discovering hidden defects they buy a home. This is going to be one of the most expensive mistake, is also one of the easiest to avoid as well. By having a professional pre-purchase home inspection, don't get stuck with the money split. The cost of a professional home inspection is usually a few $100s. But the peace of mind it can give you and the expense you can avoid are worth thousands of dollars. I always recommend my clients get the pre-approval done. I even put in the clause a home inspection clause when we're doing the paperwork on that based on the home inspection that we're going to buy the house or not, because even when you're buying the newly built house, for example, I would recommend do the home inspection. You will find, because sometimes what happens, these builders are building homes and they're giving it to contractors, and that the contractors haven't done, because they cannot keep an eye on all the contractors. I found when I bought the house myself, my attic, the insulation was not filled properly. It was supposed to be 5 or 8 or something, and it was in half of it. So my home inspector pointed out that. We contacted the builder and they fixed it, because it was a newly built house. Even the houses, when people doing it 2 years or 3 years after the build or 5 years after build, get the home inspection done. It's just give you peace of mind, and it can avoid a lot of hassle later on. Mistake number 5, not knowing how much their credit can affect their ability to buy or refinance a home. Before you buy a home, many of the clouds on your credit history can be cleared up or even eliminated. So it's a good practice. Every year you check your credit report. It's free of cost. It doesn't affect your credit score, and clear out those things from there. Your mortgage professional can help you review and prepare your credit life file in advance. So like I said, you can do their credit history, take it with your lender to lender, and shop around and get their advice over here. I hope my tips are helpful to you. You providing your hearts, that's great. I hope I'm able to answer your questions. And just remember, follow me on Wish for Your Home. You can also follow me on Wish for Your Home on Twitter, and same thing on Facebook as well. My website is wishforyourhome.ca. You can visit there and you can read my blogs. There's a lot of helpful tips I provide over there. I also provide home finder service as well as free home evaluation as well. So if you're thinking of the buying or selling house, you can go on the website and you can have the helpful tips. Anyway, heading out to the assembly today at 11 o'clock. I have to meet there by 10:30. Still the time, and still I can take some questions you have and able to answer that questions to you. Hi, how are you? Just mention to me where you're from. Thank you, Purple, you as well. Thank you very much for watching this. Appreciate your kind words, and I hope able to answer your questions. Is any other questions you have for home buying or home selling? If you're not clear about, I can answer that questions. I'm just taking the questions for another 2 or 3 minutes. if I can answer that to you. If you want, I can continue this broadcast and also talk about how credit report and credit scoring affect how much house you will be able to buy. There's a new buzzword in the mortgage industry. Is 3.875 is a good interest rate on a home? It depends, right? What's in the market. I'm not sure where you live and what's the prime rate over there. Right now in Canada is going on like at the some people 2.69. That's what you can get the mortgage rate. But 3.88, depending upon if you're shopping around, talk to different lenders if that's the best rate you can get. But also remember, you also get the interest rate based on your credit worthiness. So every individual is different. So there's the advertised price and there's the individual price. Individual price is for people depending upon their credit history, their payment history. That's how they can go. So there's two buzzwords in the mortgage industry right now is the credit scoring. In their never-ending search to find an easier way to rate a personal financial ability, mortgage companies are using a new system called credit scoring, or called FICO scores. I won't even tell you what that means. I have to go through that because I'm not expert. I can give you little tips and advice on them, but I always recommend go to your professional mortgage agent or broker. But I can give you some tips, from my profession, because I have a bunch of people who are working with me in my team, and mortgage brokers from banks, and also agents who work for different financial institutions as well. When lenders pull up your credit report, they can look at all of the debts you have, how much you owe, how well you make your payments, and many other things, such as if you had any bankruptcies within the last several years. With your credit report, lenders now get a credit score, which take all of this information, creates a credit score for you. This credit score is a number that lender use to decide which type of loans you'll be eligible for and able to get. As with all new things, there's controversy over these credit scores. Some type of loans require that you have a certain credit score to get the loan. No exceptions, and credit scores change over time. As a matter of fact, just applying for credit can lower your credit score. Now that that somebody was asking that before, if it's going to affect their credit score, and say just get it done by yourself instead of asking somebody to do it for you. Until you sign and until you give the permission to them, they can't run the credit check on you. So here's how to make sure you have the best one possible. First of all, don't apply for a new credit card or consumer loans. Don't go down to the furniture store and take them up on the no interest, no payment, no nothing for 1 year financing program. And of all things, don't go out and finance a car. You can do all of these things after you get your mortgage and buy your house. So this is always a good practice. If you're thinking of buying a house, consider those things. But for your own sake, don't do it before buying a house. Buying things on credit not only hurts your credit score, but also leaves less money for you to use for a house payment. Lenders look at this figure also to determine how much money they will lend you and how much they charge you to lend it. So wait until after you bought your home and move it to get that new couch or big screen TV, and there's another reason to wait. After you buy a home, you can get a loan for up to 125% of your home's value to buy whatever you want. And when you get a loan against your home, all of the interest you pay is tax deductible. So there's a few tips. I have a little more time, so I expanded this broadcast more. But for more tips, you can go on my website, wishforyourhome.ca, or you can message me on Twitter, or can reach out to me. My phone number is also 905-330-8675. and I'll try to respond to you on your queries. Thank you. Have a great day. It's Diwali for people, Indians like who celebrating. So happy Diwali to them. And it's also September 11, Remembrance Day. And I'm going to thank my veterans over here, like who sacrificed their life for building this country. And I'm proud to be a Canadian.